Hey everybody, this is Sue Craig, your Stampin' Up! Demonstrator here in Cleveland, Ohio. And today I have another card for you. It's a seaside card. Lighthouses are one of my favorites, and this paper just makes it so easy. We're going to be using, excuse me, some of the most beautiful paper that I think Stampin' Up! Has ever made. Here's two samples. Let me show you how this opens. I didn't use any stamps on this because I didn't want to take away from the front, and it allows me to use this for whatever kind of occasion I want. The stamps that I used are none, but I used the dies, and it's called Scenic Coast. I used the Lighthouse die. So we're going to cut out paper and put this card together. Let me show you how we did that. I also used the arches, the dies for the arches. So let me show you what we have here. There are a few pieces here. Don't get flustered by the number of pieces. As you can see, it's just a layered card. And I'm going to show you step by step how to do that. So let's put this up here so you can see where we're going. For the inside, we're going to need two pieces. We're going to need a piece of white, which is 3 3/4 by 5, and a piece of Night of Navy, which is 4 by 5 1/4. You don't have to write any of this down. The measurements will be in the description and on my blog. On the inside also, we have a narrow strip of designer paper, and I did that because I had leftovers after I cut it out. And this piece is 1.5, not 1.5, 1/2 by 5. For the front here on the flap, I have two pieces. The designer paper is 2 1/4 by 5. The Night of Navy piece is 2 1/2 by 5 1/4. I took a 3 by 3 inch piece of Night of Navy and cut out the lighthouse with the die. And let me show you. The die is a circle die. So I just put it on my 3 by 3 piece of paper and cut it out. All right, for the arches, I took a piece of designer paper that was 2 3/4 by 4. And when I was cutting this, I wanted to make sure that somewhere on this arch I had my sunrise or sunset, however you see that piece. Then I have a piece of Night of Navy at 3 1/4 by 4 1/2 and cut out the arch for that. And you can see it's all just layering. Now we have the card base. The card base is 5 1/2 by 8 1/2, and I cut off 1 1/2 inches, and I scored that piece at 2 1/2. Let me show you what we did. So this is already scored in half. And what I'm going to do is cut off 1 1/2. So I'm going to put it in this way. Here's my center line. Let me use it up here. And I'm going to cut off 1 1/2. Okay. Now I'm going to take this strip and I'm going to turn it and score it at 2 1/2. Okay, and the scoring blade is this lighter one. And now we have the hinge that we're going to need for our card. pretty easy to do. All right, let's put our card together here. Once you have it cut out, it's pretty easy to put together and to layer. So I'm going to use my bone folder to flatten this. Like I've said in other videos too, you can work flat if you like, if that makes it easier for you. And for me, sometimes that's what I prefer. I'm going to move this off to the side just for a minute, because what we're going to work on now is just adding these two pieces to this flap. And if it makes it easier for you to see what we're up to, this is what we're doing right here. This is Melon Mambo. So I'm going to take these two pieces. I'm going to take my glue. When I start using the glue, I usually start in the middle to make sure I have a good flow, and then I go ahead around the edges. I'm using my tweezers so that I don't get all sticky. And then use the tweezers to help me line this up. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing. Because I'm right-handed, I put it on this side and turn it over so that I can glue. And you can see how this sticks up. So sometimes I just lay it flat to make it easier to line it up and put it in place. And of course, with the glue, you have a little bit of time to slide it if you need to. All right, now we're going to work on the inside. And before we put anything inside, we're going to take our flap, and you'll see that one of the sides is shorter. That's the side we're going to put our adhesive on. So we'll put our glue on that side. And this is going to go centered from top to bottom, and it's going to go right at the edge. Okay, it doesn't have to be perfect. And sometimes what I do is just kind of fold it in so I get the idea, did I make it straight? All right, so there we go, we have that. We did that so that now we can take our Night of Navy and we can cover this little piece, and no one will know, or you won't see it, and you'll know it's there, but you won't see it. So we'll add this piece. I'm going to wait to add the white piece. No, I guess we can add the white piece because I'm not going to stamp the inside. So we can add the white piece. Like I said, this is a quick, easy card once you get everything cut. Okay. So we have the inside, and now we need what goes on here. And we have this. So let's put our strip on the inside. Now I did not put it on this side. I could, but I didn't put it on that side because when it's closed, then you would see it. And I like the way it looks this way with the white. So that's why I put it over here. I thought it was very plain and needed something. So that's why I put this narrow strip in here. There we go. All right, I'm going to take my arch, put glue on it, and add that to this piece. And now I'm going to add the lighthouse. You can use Your glue for this, I like to put mine down, and you need just tiny little bits of glue. You don't want it to seep in the holes, so sometimes I just barely touch it with the glue bottle in these small areas here. And it's not like you have to get every single thing, but you can see there are some places where I just have like a little dot. And then we'll just set this on. And I wanted to see the border here, so I put this right up to the edge. Some people did not glue the lighthouse down so it could come forward a little bit. Now what we're going to do is we're going to add this to our card. And you want to make sure, I had people in my classes close this and close this so that you could see where you wanted your arch. You really want to center it. You kind of want to have the same amount on the sides and the top. And then what you want to do is you want to put your adhesive just on this tab here. Push it down, and there's your card. Quick and easy. Now, if you don't like the tab showing, you could cut another arch out. It could be with your designer paper, or it could just be another piece of navy if you didn't want to see that. But that didn't seem to bother the people that were making cards with me this week. So that's our card today. I hope you give it a try, and I hope you like it. Thanks for watching.